Okay, so in our previous video we discussed about the loops. Now today we are going to discuss about the array. So what is array? The simple definition of array: collection of similar data types. Okay, like if where we'll have the same types of data that is bundled in a collection that is known as the array. So in C programming, how you represent array? Array will be represented in this way. A. So this should be the name of array. This should be the type of data. This is integer, that is type of data. This is name of array variable, anything you can go with. Now the size. This is a fixed size. Like if I'll provide the size equals to 5, so it means we are going to declare the array with a fixed size. Remember, this is a static declaration. Okay, this is static, the size of array. The dynamic declaration, we can use some dynamic data structures, like we'll have a list, linked list, set, map. These types of data structures you can use in your dynamic declaration. Okay. So one thing you need to keep in mind, all the operations of array are normally performed in loop. First is input in loop. Second, if you have any operation, so that operation will also perform in loop. Third, if you have any output, so that output also perform in loop. So how we declare array, how array works in C programming, let's see some practical aspects. So I'm just going to write a code. One second, let me select my language, that is C. I'm going to use this online compiler. You can use any compiler based on your choice. stdio.h. Okay, then void main, this is the minimum function we require. Looks fine. Now there I'm going to declare array. So integer a of 5, that works for me. Semicolon. So array works with the memory, right? Like we now see we created a 5 integer. It means continuously we created a 5 blocks. How these blocks will going to work, that we are also going to discuss. Now let me perform the input. So integer I equals to 0, semicolon, I should be less than 5, semicolon, I plus plus. Okay, now scanf percentile d, comma, m% of a of I. All right, so this is the input block. What does it mean? So this is our index value that we are going to test. Okay, now the same block I'm going to use for the output. I'm not performing any operation, guys. This is a very simple code. Printf percentile d, comma, a of I. Looks fine. Now let me run this code. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this run button. Okay, once again, that is showing some error. Okay, I had not closed this for loop. Okay, and meanwhile, let me give a message. See, because this is for the input block. So printf please input 5 elements. Okay, that you can declare dynamically as well. And this will be my output block. There I can simply type this as my output. Okay, so that you can easily like differentiate between them. But where is the output, where is the input in this way? All right, slash t we can use here. Okay, so entire 5 elements. So let me enter that once again. Yeah. Okay, that happens. In this case, that happens, guys. So let me copy this code. That is copied. Let me reload. Okay. Now we can remove this. Let me paste my code, and now let me run this again. Okay. So it is asking for the 5 elements, that is 55, 44, 33, 77, 88. So this is my output, guys. Okay, I had not put there slash, no problem. So whatever you input, that you are getting in your output. See, This is the input 55, 44, 33, 77, 88. And that's what you are getting in the output. Once again, let me put slash and there as well, so that we'll get over input as well. Let me run this code again. Okay, it is looking for the 5 elements, which are 22, 44, 33, 55, 66. So this is the output, guys. So we inputted 5 elements and simultaneously we'll get those 5 elements. So how this array works? The main question is how this array works. This is known as the index value. It means, see, this array is having some specific block, like this type of block they are using. Okay, this section is known as your I. Okay, and this should be known as the A of I. Okay, this should be your A of I. And see, we are using 5 elements, so this should be like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, as I'll tell you, this will be the I. So in I, we'll have an index which is 0. Then we'll have 1. Then we'll have 2. Then have 3. And then we'll have 4, guys. Okay. So what comes in this A of I? Like if I'm talking about this A of I. So in this A of I, you are going to input the element. Like see what I input. I input 23 like that once again. 22, 44, 33, 55, 66. So 22, 44, 33, whatever I input, 66. So see, it means you can fetch those elements based on the respective index. It means if you are going to print this statement like this one, I equals to 0. So that will going to input the element at 0th position. The A of I will input the element at 0th position. It means at A of 0th, we'll get 22. Then we'll have I equals to 1. It means at A of 1, we'll get 44. See, this will be the index, guys, this I. And this will be the N. This thing, this A of I. This is over N. So at 0th position, we'll have 22. At first position, we'll have 44. At second position, we'll have 33. At third position, we'll have 55, the strictly one. Right. At fourth position, we'll have 66. So this is the index. This section is known as index, and this is known as the element at that respective index. So now let me clear this. All right, looks fine. So it means if you are going to print, like if I'm going to hold this command, and if you are going to printf only single value, that is in percentile D, you are just going to print only A of second. So it means the element which we scanned at second position, that will going to print here, guys. Okay, so 5 element, 22, 40, I mean 55, 44, 33, 6. Oh, that is 3, no problem. So which element at second position? 44. This is 0th position, first position, second position. So at second position, we'll have element which is 44. So this is the way, like you either you can print them independently or you can print them in one go, that is with the loop. Like as I tell you earlier, we require this loop if you are going to perform any of the operation in array. So this is the very basic program which is representing array, guys. Okay. Now what operations you can perform in array? Multiple operations. So operations in array. So multiple operations will have, like sum of array. So as I tell you, let's see, this is the structure. Input in loop, operation in loop, and output in loop. So now we are going to perform an operation in loop. It means, see that input is done. Now I just want to add those 5 elements. So how can I do this? Let me tell you one thing. If you are going to add anything, so you need to declare that variable with 0. Because maybe that variable is in some program and that is holding some memory, some variable, anything. That's why we need to initialize that as in 0. Now what do you want to do? You just want to perform that inside a loop, sum equals to sum plus A of I. Now what it will going to do? It will going to add your number. And after that, what you can do? See, like if you want to print complete array, then you require a loop. But if you are going to print this as independently, like this variable only, the sum. So let me give a message. The sum of array equals to %d, comma, sum. Let me check now. Okay, now I'm just going to run this. The element which I'm going to input, simple one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sum of array is, okay, E is missing. Right? The sum of array is 15. Like that is a string value, so no problem in that. Fine. Okay, so we can run this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sum of array is 15. This is the first operation of array. Like most of the times we are going to perform this operation to test our knowledge in array. After that, we'll have some other programs on array, like we can do searching, we can do sorting. Okay, we can check that any number is prime or not, but that we can prime we can use with array, without array, based on the user requirement, like that. So this is a very simple program. Now next, what we can do in this, next we can sort these elements. So sorting is what? Sorting. Sorting means arranging your elements in ascending or descending order. So either you are going to arrange them in increasing order, okay, or on decreasing order. That is based on your choice. So how you are going to do this? Again, see, for example, I'm just going to work with these 5 elements. So how are these 5 elements, guys? So for example, this is my structure. So how you are going to do this? See, in this, we need to go with a pass. See, we'll have multiple types of sorting, but I'm just going to work with this simple one. The first one is pass one. So in this pass one, what we are going to do, we are just going to compare all element with the adjacent element. Okay, like see, you're just going to compare a of I with a of I plus 1. This is your choice, what you want. You want them in a greater way. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're just going to compare them with next element. So what should be your comparison symbol? If you want them in ascending order, descending order, based on that, you can go with the greater than or less than. Right now, we are just going to compare them. How? Let me show you. So again, I'll tell you, if we have any operation, so that's we need to perform a loop, guys. But there maybe we require 2 loops, 3 loops based on the requirement. So how we can do this? So in pass one, 22 will going to compare with 44. Is 22 is greater than 44? If yes, okay, if yes, then swap them. Swap means we are just going to interchange them. So how can you swap the element? So let me show you the very basic program of swapping. First of all, let me put this in comment. Okay, so you can perform swapping. For example, you will have 3 variables, a, comma b, comma c. Okay, c we don't require now. Now a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. Now I want to swap them. Initially, if I'm just going to print them, that is before swapping. So these variables should be %d, %d, okay, and then comma a, comma b. That works for me. Now, see, to swap anything, you require a third variable. That can be either c or temp variable. What is the use of this temp variable? Let me show you. So temp will going to hold the value of this variable a, first of all. Now a is free, so a can hold the value of b now. Okay. Now b want to hold the value of a, that is in temp. So we can put in this way. Now let me copy and paste this line. And these are our output after swapping. So let me run this 1 second. Any error based on semicolon, let me check. Or maybe, yeah, this variable we are not using. Okay, looks fine. Okay, so before swapping 1 second, let me print /n, guys. There. slash m. Okay, now let me run this. So before swapping, A and B is 1020. After swapping, A and B is 2010. Right? So this is how we can perform swapping. Now I'm just going to cut this and I'm just going to paste it inside my notepad if you require it. 1 second. If you require them, then we can check. So if 22 is greater than 44, then swap. But if it means this block will not going to execute. In second case, what it will going to do? It will just going to check 44 is greater than 33. Yes, then swap. Okay, now what should be the updated array? In this case, at every step you need to put your array in updated case, right? Because that will going to check all the item continuously. So like this is the first pass where 22 will going to compare with 44, so no change. But once 44 will going to compare with 33, so these two elements swap. 44. Okay, that array seems swapped, huh? So let me go with some other array. 44, 33. Okay, and let me put 33 there and 66 there. Okay, now we are going to swap that. Perfect. So after the first swap, what should be the changes? Right. So 22, 44. So 44 will compare with 66. So still in this case, the condition is also changed. 44 will compare with 66. Swap? No. Okay. Now, next swap, 66 will going to compare with 55. In this case, do we find swap? Of course. So this will become 55 and this will become 66. Now 66 will going to compare with 33. So what we'll get as an output? 33 came here and 66 at last position. So in pass one, now we don't have any element to compare. In pass one, we'll find that this is our output, but still this is not sorted, right? So it means we need to execute this pass again, so that we'll get our output. But hold on, guys. Let me implement this section. So there we are declaring our array, looks fine. Okay, so there we are going to input our array and there we are going to compare. If a of I, this was our operation, is greater than a of I plus 1. Okay, so there we need to one thing say in your mind, that our array size is fixed. Okay, once that will reach to 4, so that will become 5. It means we don't have any element in this case. So that we are going to check later. So there we need to perform a swapping. So to swap element, we need to declare a temporary element as well. Some we don't require in this program. So we are going with the temp element. Okay. All right, looks fine. So this will be my temp element, and there I'm just going to perform the swapping. So how you are going to perform the swap? In the same way, temp equals to a of I, right, semicolon. A of I becomes, a of I will going to hold the value of a of I plus 1, and now a of I plus 1 will going to hold the value from temp. Looks fine. Okay, so this is if block, this is for loop, which is closing now, and outside this, let me print my array. Okay, so that we can check our output. We don't require this sum. Sorry, that is not copied. Copy now, paste, and there you are going to print f your array. A of I. So this loop is closed, not yet. And let me give a message. Printf. This is my output. Okay, my final output. But still that is not correct. See, but we are just going to run, check that how this will going to work for us. Okay, this is the complete program. There. Sorry, this is the complete program, guys. You can check. Okay, Now, one second, let me run this. Okay, error in function main. Where is error? Semicolon is missing somewhere. Where? Not in this, not in this, in this line. Okay, so enter 5 elements. What are my 5 elements? 22, 44, 66, 55, 33. So 22, 44, next is 66. Uh-oh. Let me terminate this, with any wrong input. So now I'm just going to run this code again, guys. 22, 44, 66, 55, and 33. Oh my God. /B. Okay. So our output is 22, 44, 55, 33, 66. Is it? See, 22, 44, 55, 33, 66. But that is not a correct thing. Okay, still we did not get our array. So what we need to do? Either you need to run this tab, one second, /n. Either you need to run this 3 more times or 4 more times. So what you can do, you can just copy and paste this code there. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Now if you'll see what is the line of code, see that is there, again the same code, again the same code, again the same code. And let me check my output at every step. See, this is my output. This is my output. Okay. After every for loop, I'm just going to check what is my output. Now let me run this code. Okay, it is looking for the input. So 22, 44, 55, 33, 66. 22, 44, 55, 33, 66. So see, all right. Okay, don't go with this. So this is after the, one second. Let me change this. Just give me a minute. There. Let me put /n there as well. Okay, there as well. And there as well. Anywhere else? Yeah, the final one, I think. There as well. That looks fine now. Now let me run this code. Okay. So we'll have these 5 elements. Okay, that is not copied. Oh, one second. That is not copied, I think. Let me check. Right click paste. Yeah, that is copied. So this is my output. After first pass, we'll get this element. Like this output. After second pass, okay, we are getting this. After third pass, the same thing. So let me run this code and reverse the output. Completely, okay, let me completely reverse the output. 66, 55, 44, 33, 22. Now, at the first pass, if you'll see that the maximum position reached to the correct position, the maximum element. The next maximum element in the next pass reached to the next position. The next maximum element reached to the next position, and this element reached to the next position. It means we need to run this loop minimum the required times, whatever we have. Like if we'll have the 5 element, so that we need to run minimum 4 times, like -1 times, so that the element will reach to the respective position. But hold on, guys. If you notice, what is the requirement of this multiple operations? Right. So instead of this, what you can do, let me remove all of them. Right. All the line. Okay, and instead of this, you can put it inside any other loop, like for integer j equals to 0, semicolon, j should be less than 5, semicolon, j plus plus. Now what happened? the same thing we are doing, but now we are just going to execute it n number of times, like whatever be the input, this 5 times. Okay, so it means now this operation will execute 5 times. Let me check, will it work for us? So 66, 55, 44, 33, 22. That works. So we are getting this. Now, like if you are going to run this code in any other programming language, so maybe that will not work for you because you will get exception. So what is suggestible? Go for 4 times only. Okay. Because this is an internal loop, so that can, 4 times is enough. Let me run this code. 66, 55, 44, 33, 22. Right? That also works. Because if you remember, so earlier I'll tell you that once that will jump to, like when this I become 3, so that will automatically become 4. And this is our last index. See, 4 is our last index. So when 3 will going to compare with 4, so what it found? Okay, it found that, oh, this is the last element. After that, if you are going to perform that with 5, that is not suggestible. And this is the how many times you are executing this loop. If you are going to put this 2 times, now let me show you the output. So that will gives you less than 2. So 0 or 1, only 2 maximum position. 66, 44, 33, and then 22. So what you will get? See, these 2 positions only. So this is that how many times you are executing this code. This is the complete code. 1 second. This is the complete code of this program. This is known as sorting. And instead of that, like you can perform multiple operations in array as well. Like some we had done, searching is also there if you want to perform searching or any other elements. So that's it for the array. This is one-dimensional array. Based on that, you can also work with a 2D array. Let me show you. 2D array is nothing. That is just like a matrix, if you remember. How this 2D array works? Let me remove everything. Like 2D needs 2 loop. Very simple terms. This is for the 1D array. One-dimensional array. Okay. Now, if you are going to work with a 2-dimensional array, so that works in rows and column. 2D array. That works with the rows and column, like the matrix one. There we'll have the same thing, but the structure should be like that. Let me show you. Like if you have this type of table, okay. This, I think that works for me. So this is the 2D array, right? There you'll have 2 things. 1 second. Yeah, there you'll have 2 things. First is the row, second is the column. Okay. Now that is totally depend upon you what you want. Like in mathematics, you know that this section is known as the rows. So this should be R1. So that you can represent with 0. Next that you can represent with 1. Okay, and next this you can represent with 2. Okay, and like accordingly we'll have this section as well, guys. There this should be 0. This should be 1. This should be 2. So what is the element? It means the element which are in this, that should be at an element at 0, 0 position. Like there, 1 second. They are the elements at 0, 0 position. They are the element at, see, 0, 1 position. This is the element at 0, 2 position. So 0 is the I, and for example, I, and 1 like this 2 is the J. Okay, this should be known as the rows and column concepts. In this way, like what we'll have this should be the 1, 0. Okay, this should be 1, 1. This should be 1, 2. Okay, and in the same way, you will have this row. So that should be 2, 0. That should be 2, 1, and that should be 2. This should be the structure of 2-dimensional array. Okay, this is your choice how you are going to print, how you are going to scan. Whatever operation required 2-dimensional like array or matrices, anything, you can work on that. How this practically works, let me show you. Okay, now I'm just going to remove this. Okay, see the 2D array will declare in this way, like integer a and in this. So we were defining 3 size in this way. Now how you are going to perform the input and other stuff the same way. But there you require two loops, guys. First is integer I equals to 0, semicolon, I should be less than 3, semicolon, I plus plus. Okay, less than 3 stands for 2. Okay, now let me copy the same loop and let me print it and let me replace that with j, that with j, that with j as well. Okay, and in that, now we are going to print scanf percentile d. Okay, and then comma ampersand a of I as well as of j. Now that will going to input your elements, right? So in C, like if you want to print them, so let me print any element which is at position percentile d, comma, to test this, that it is working fine or not. A1 and A1. So it means the element which we are going to input in the middle, that works in this way. Okay. Let me give a message. Printf enter 2D array. Some people says this as a matrix because that you can choose as a design from matrix, right? Okay, looks fine. Slash m. Okay, so that required how many elements? 9 elements as an input. So now let me run this code. You need to remember which element is at 1 position. So this is 0 1, 0 0, 0 1, 0 2. Okay, then 1 1, no, 1 0, 1 1. Okay, 1 2. Next is 2 0. Okay, 2 1, 2 2. Okay, so one second. This is the see. So what we'll get, the element which we inserted at the 1 1. This is 22. Don't worry about this. That is the compiler. So the element which we inserted, this is at 0 1 position, right? Like what we are printing, we are printing element at 1 1 position. So 1 1 is like if you will go with the count, so 1 2 3 4 5. So what is our fifth element that is printed there? So first 2 3 4 5. This is the fifth element and which is printed as a output, guys. This is about the two-dimensional matrix. If you want to go with like any respective format, or if you want to print that in for loop, so in this way we can print it. Let me show you. Okay, so a of I and j, right? And let me check. That will see, this is the internal loop. So that loop can print with slash d. Okay, and this is the external loop. So that loop can print in this way, slash n. Okay, looks fine. All right, now let me run this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. See, this is the way. Now you can easily compare them. Like this is just like a matrix way. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And they see, if you are going to compare this section with our section, so you can easily analyze that. See, this is our section, like 0 0 0 1 0 2, like this. So in the same way we are getting 0 0 0 1 0 2, like this. So if you want to print independent element, again let me tell you, now outside this for loop, printf percentile d, any element for the testing purpose. Let me print 2 and 0. Okay, it is outside, somewhere externally we are going to print it. So now let me run this code again. Okay, so 2D array is 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Right, so the element which we have printed, let me check, that is 2, 0. So that is 0, 0, 1, 0 and 2, 0. That is perfectly fine for us. This is known as two-dimensional matrix. Now again, if you want to perform any operation, so you can perform it. This is the one second. This is the complete program, guys, for this 2D matrices. This one. Okay, one more thing you need to remember, if you are using Turbo C based compiler, so you can put get ch over there. Okay, to hold the output screen, and that is inside a header file which is punio.h. This get ch, and the same thing you can type over there clr scr to clear the previous screen. That's it, guys.